Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you just couldn't seem to get through to someone, no matter how hard you tried? Maybe it was a coworker who just wouldn't listen to your ideas, or a friend who always seemed to take things the wrong way. If you're nodding your head right now, then you're not alone. And that's where Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, comes in. Unlike other book summaries that just regurgitate the same old points, this one is different. We're taking Carnegie's principles and applying them to real-life relatable scenarios that we've all experienced. Because let's be real, it's one thing to read about effective communication and conflict resolution, but it's another thing entirely to see those principles in action. So, get ready to dive into a world where we'll explore the art of making killer first impressions, the power of active listening, and the secrets to winning hearts and minds. We'll tackle everything from keeping your cool in heated arguments to becoming a leader people actually want to follow. And the best part, we're not just going to tell you what Carnegie said. We're going to show you how to put those principles into practice with relatable examples that will have you nodding along and thinking, yep, been there, done that. But don't just take my word for it. I'll be encouraging you to pick up a copy of the book yourself and see the magic unfold firsthand. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about winning friends and influencing people, it's about becoming a better communicator, a better leader, and a better human being. So are you ready to unlock the secrets of human connection and influence? Buckle up, because this is one book summary that's going to change the way you see the world and yourself. Chapter 1, The Big Idea, Winning Friends and Influencing People. We've all been there, awkwardly standing in the corner at a party, desperately trying to make conversation while our palms sweat profusely. Or maybe you found yourself in a heated argument with a friend or coworker, words flying like daggers, and any chance of resolution quickly fading. Heck, even trying to convince your significant other to watch the movie you want can feel like an uphill battle sometimes. Let's face it, navigating the complex world of human interactions can be a minefield. But fear not, my socially challenged friends, for Dale Carnegie's iconic book How to Win Friends and Influence People is here to save the day. This timeless masterpiece is like a secret decoder ring for unlocking the mysteries of human behavior and communication. At its core, Carnegie's philosophy boils down to one simple yet profound idea. To truly influence others, you must first make them like you. And no, we're not talking about some manipulative mind games or sleazy sales tactics. We're talking about genuine, heartfelt connection, the kind that builds trust, fosters understanding, and opens doors to endless possibilities. One of the key principles Carnegie hammers home is the importance of avoiding criticism, condemnation, and complaints. Let's be real, nobody likes a Debbie Downer raining on their parade. It's like showing up to a party and immediately pointing out how terrible the music is. Not exactly a recipe for making friends and influencing people, is it? Instead, Carnegie suggests taking a step back and trying to understand where the other person is coming from. Maybe they're having a rough day, or they're dealing with something you don't know about. A little empathy can go a long way in diffusing tense situations and building bridges instead of burning them. But it's not just about avoiding negativity. Carnegie also emphasizes the importance of genuine appreciation. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good ego stroke? It's like giving someone a verbal hug, and it can work wonders in making people feel valued and more receptive to your ideas. As Carnegie famously said, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Boom, mic drop moment right there. Finally, Carnegie talks about the art of arousing an eager want in others. It's all about framing your ideas in a way that makes people want to be a part of it. It's like being a master salesperson, but instead of pushing a product, you're selling your vision or perspective. Imagine you're trying to convince your friend to join you for a hike. Instead of just saying, hey, let's go hiking this weekend, you could say something like, you know, I heard about this amazing trail with breathtaking views and a waterfall at the end. It's supposed to be a real adventure. Wouldn't it be awesome to check it out together? Suddenly, you've painted a picture that appeals to their sense of adventure and desire for new experiences. Look, we all know that navigating the social landscape can be a daunting task, but with Dale Carnegie's wisdom as your guide, you'll be equipped with the tools to build genuine connections, diffuse conflicts, and inspire others to see things from your perspective. It's not about manipulation or trickery, it's about understanding the fundamental principles of human behavior and using them to create a more harmonious, fulfilling life. So whether you're looking to make new friends, advance your career, or simply improve your relationships, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a must-read. Just remember, as Carnegie said, when dealing with people, let us remember we are not dealing with creatures of logic. We are dealing with creatures of emotion. Wise words to live by, my friends. Now go forth and conquer the social world, one genuine connection at a time. Chapter 2, First Impressions and Remembering Names. We all know that heart-pounding moment when you walk into a room full of unfamiliar faces, feeling like a fish out of water. Your palms start sweating, your mind goes blank, and you can already feel the awkward silence creeping in like an unwelcome guest. First impressions can be make or break moments, and nailing them is crucial if you want to win friends and influence people. Enter Dale Carnegie, the master of social savviness. In his iconic book, he drops some serious wisdom on how to make a lasting impression from the get-go and become a skilled conversationalist. And let's be real, who better to take advice from than a guy who's been influencing people since before influencers were even a thing? One of Carnegie's golden rules is remembering people's names. It's like a superpower that instantly makes the other person feel valued and important. Think about it. How good does it feel when someone remembers your name, even if you've only met them once before? It's like a little ego boost that says, hey, you matter to me. But let's be real, remembering names can be a struggle, especially if you're like me and can barely remember your own name sometimes. That's where Carnegie's techniques come in handy. Repeating the person's name when you meet them, using it in conversation, and even creating mental associations to help it stick. Another key ingredient in Carnegie's first impression recipe is the genuine smile. And we're not talking about that forced, teeth-baring grimace that makes you look like you're in pain. We're talking about a warm, genuine smile that lights up your face and makes the other person feel welcomed and appreciated. It's like a secret handshake that says, hey, I'm happy to meet you and I'm interested in what you have to say. And let's be real, who doesn't love feeling appreciated? It's like a little dose of sunshine on a cloudy day. But making a great first impression is just the beginning. Carnegie also emphasizes the importance of becoming a skilled conversationalist, and his secret weapon is encouraging others to talk about themselves and their interests. Think about it. When was the last time you met someone who was genuinely interested in what you had to say? It's like a breath of fresh air in a world full of self-absorbed chatterboxes. By letting others take the spotlight, you not only make them feel valued and important, but you also gain valuable insights into their perspectives and motivations. As Theodore Roosevelt famously said, the most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. And what better way to get along with people than by showing a genuine interest in who they are and what they care about? It's like unlocking a secret door to their inner world, and once you're in, you've got a much better chance of winning them over to your way of thinking. But let's be real, mastering the art of human connection isn't just about winning friends and influencing people. It's about building genuine, meaningful relationships that can enrich your life in countless ways. Whether you're looking to advance your career, strengthen your personal bonds, or simply navigate the complex social landscape with a little more grace and confidence, Carnegie's principles are like a roadmap to success. So the next time you find yourself in a room full of strangers, take a deep breath and remember Carnegie's wisdom. Smile genuinely, remember names, and show a sincere interest in others. Because at the end of the day, that's what truly wins friends and influences people. Not some sleazy sales tactic or manipulative mind game, but a genuine desire to connect with others on a deeper level. Chapter 3, Active Listening and Conflict Resolution. We've all been there, caught in the heat of an argument, emotions running high, and logic taking a backseat to pure, unadulterated stubbornness. It's like a game of verbal tug-of-war, where the only thing getting pulled is your last nerve. You can feel the tension building, the air thick with unspoken frustrations, and suddenly you're both digging in your heels, determined to emerge victorious, even if it means burning the whole relationship to the ground. But fear not, my conflict-averse friends, for Dale Carnegie has some sage wisdom to share on the art of keeping your cool and resolving disputes like a boss. After all, this is the guy who's been influencing people since before influencing was even a thing, so, he's got some serious communication skills. One of Carnegie's golden rules is the art of active listening, and we're not talking about that glazed over, nodding along while mentally planning your next vacation kind of listening. We're talking about truly tuning in, empathizing, and trying to understand where the other person is coming from. It's like being a verbal ninja, deflecting heated comments with a calm, "I understand why you might feel that way, but have you considered?" Instead of getting defensive or losing your temper, which, let's be real, never ends well, you're acknowledging their emotions and biases while gently redirecting the conversation to a more productive place. Another secret weapon in Carnegie's conflict resolution arsenal is the power of yes. Now, we're not talking about being a pushover or agreeing with everything the other person says. That's just asking for trouble. We're talking about finding common ground, even if it's something as simple as agreeing on the weather or the fact that you're both human beings with differing perspectives. By starting with yes, you're creating a positive environment and building rapport, which can go a long way in diffusing tensions and opening the door for productive dialogue. It's like a verbal olive branch saying, "Hey, I hear you, and I'm willing to meet you halfway." But perhaps one of the most valuable lessons Carnegie imparts is the importance of admitting mistakes quickly and keeping your ego in check. Let's be real, we've all been there. Stubbornly clinging to our position, even when deep down we know we're in the wrong. It's like a twisted game of emotional tug-of-war, where the only thing getting pulled is our pride. But Carnegie reminds us that trying to maintain a facade of infallibility is just setting ourselves up for failure and a whole lot of unnecessary conflict. By owning up to our mistakes and approaching conversations with a friendly, humble attitude, we're creating an environment of trust and mutual respect. It's like saying, "Hey, I'm human too, and I'm willing to learn and grow from this experience." And who knows, you might just earn some serious brownie points, or at least a little begrudging respect from the other person. So, there you have it, folks. Dale Carnegie's blueprint for effective communication and conflict resolution. Remember, it's not about winning at all costs or proving your superiority. That's just a recipe for resentment and burnt bridges. It's about keeping an open mind, actively listening, and finding common ground, even in the midst of heated disagreements. Because at the end of the day, that's what truly wins friends and influences people. Not some manipulative mind game or aggressive power play, but a genuine desire to understand and be understood. The next time you find yourself in the throes of conflict, take a deep breath, channel your inner Carnegie, and remember, keep calm and communicate on. Approach the situation with empathy, humility, and a willingness to see things from the other person's perspective. Because let's be real, we're all just human beings trying to navigate this crazy world, and a little understanding can go a long way in keeping the peace and preserving those precious friendships. Chapter 4. Understanding perspectives and appealing to nobler motives. We've all been there, trying to convince someone of our brilliant idea, only to be met with a brick wall of resistance. It's like banging your head against a door that just won't open no matter how hard you try. You can feel the frustration building, the tension rising, and suddenly you're both digging in your heels, determined to emerge victorious, even if it means burning the whole relationship to the ground. But what if we told you there's a secret to unlocking that door? A way to not only get people to listen, but to actually embrace your ideas with open arms. A way to inspire them, to tap into their deepest values and aspirations, and to create a lasting bond of trust and mutual understanding. Enter the wisdom of Dale Carnegie, a true master of influence and persuasion. This guy has been winning friends and influencing people since before Instagram and TikTok were even a thing, and he's got some serious insights to share on the art of understanding perspectives and appealing to people's nobler motives. One of Carnegie's golden rules is to truly understand where the other person is coming from, and we're not talking about that half-hearted, yeah, I get it, kind of understanding. We're talking about putting yourself in their shoes, seeing the world through their lens, and genuinely empathizing with their viewpoint. It's like being a verbal chameleon, adapting your approach to resonate with the person you're trying to influence. Instead of bulldozing your way through with your own agenda, you're taking the time to listen, to understand, and to find common ground. But understanding isn't enough. You've also got to know how to appeal to people's higher values and aspirations. And let's be real, we all have that little voice inside us that yearns for something greater, something more meaningful than just the daily grind. Carnegie's genius lies in tapping into that voice, in showing people how your idea or suggestion can help them become a better version of themselves. It's like speaking to their soul, reminding them of the person they want to be and the impact they want to have on the world. And here's the kicker: by appealing to those nobler motives, you're not just winning them over to your way of thinking, you're inspiring them to embrace it wholeheartedly. It's like planting a seed that takes root and grows into something truly remarkable. But perhaps one of the most counterintuitive yet brilliant principles Carnegie imparts is the importance of humility and letting others take credit for your ideas. Let's be real, we all have egos, and there's a part of us that wants to bask in the glory of our own brilliance. But Carnegie reminds us that true influence isn't about stroking our own egos, it's about inspiring others to greatness. By letting them take the spotlight, by making them feel like they're the ones driving the ship, you're not only appealing to their sense of pride and accomplishment, but you're also building a deeper level of trust and rapport. It's like being the ultimate wingman, setting the stage for others to shine while you quietly revel in their success. And who knows, you might just find that the joy of seeing others thrive is far more rewarding than any personal accolades. So, there you have it, folks. The blueprint for winning hearts, minds, and lasting influence. Remember, it's not about force or manipulation. That's just a recipe for resentment and resistance. It's about understanding, empathy, and appealing to people's higher values and aspirations. It's about planting seeds of inspiration that take root and blossom into something truly remarkable. The next time you find yourself trying to influence someone, take a deep breath, channel this wisdom, and remember, true influence isn't about imposing your will. It's about inspiring others to greatness. So, put your ego aside, listen with an open heart, and watch as doors start to open in ways you never thought possible. Because at the end of the day, that's what truly wins friends and influences people. Not some manipulative mind game or aggressive power play, but a genuine desire to understand, to connect, and to bring out the best in one another. Chapter 5: Effective Leadership and Positive Reinforcement. We've all been there. Stuck in a soul-crushing job, working for that boss who seems to take sadistic pleasure in making your life miserable. The one who barks orders like a drill sergeant, criticizes every little mistake, and sucks the joy out of the room faster than a black hole. It's like walking on eggshells every day, constantly bracing yourself for the next verbal lashing or passive-aggressive jab, wondering if today will be the day you finally snap and quit in a blaze of glory. But what if we told you there's a better way? A way to lead that inspires people to give their best, to embrace challenges with enthusiasm, and to actually look forward to coming to work each day. A way to create a culture of positivity, collaboration, and genuine appreciation where people feel valued, challenged, and empowered to reach their full potential. Enter the wisdom of Dale Carnegie, the master of effective leadership and positive reinforcement. In this final chapter of his iconic book, he drops some serious knowledge on how to be the kind of leader people actually want to follow. And let's be real, in today's world, where talent is hard to come by and employee retention is a constant battle, having those skills can be a game changer. One of Carnegie's golden rules is the art of heartfelt praise. And we're not talking about that half-hearted good job kind of praise that feels about as genuine as a used car salesman's smile. We're talking about taking the time to genuinely acknowledge and celebrate people's achievements, no matter how small. It's like being a verbal cheerleader, constantly encouraging and uplifting those around you. And let's be real, who doesn't love a little ego boost now and then? By making people feel valued and appreciated, you're not only boosting morale and fostering a positive work environment, but you're also inspiring them to keep pushing, to keep growing, and to keep giving their best. But let's be real, even the best leaders have to dish out some tough love now and then. The key, according to Carnegie, is all in the delivery. Instead of barking orders or pointing fingers, he suggests making suggestions and letting others save face. It's like being a verbal ninja, gently guiding people in the right direction without making them feel attacked or belittled. And by letting them take ownership of the solution, you're not only appealing to their sense of pride and autonomy, but you're also creating a culture of collaboration and creativity. But perhaps one of the most powerful principles Carnegie imparts is the importance of motivation and making people feel like rock stars. And we're not talking about empty platitudes or cheesy pep talks. We're talking about genuinely inspiring people to embrace their full potential. It's like being a verbal alchemist, turning everyday tasks into exciting challenges and highlighting the benefits and personal growth opportunities that come with each new endeavor. By tapping into people's deeper motivations and aspirations, you're not only fueling their drive and determination, but you're also creating a culture of continuous improvement and personal growth. So, there you have it, folks. Dale Carnegie's blueprint for effective leadership and positive reinforcement. Remember, it's not about barking orders or ruling with an iron fist. That's just a recipe for resentment and high turnover. It's about creating a positive, productive environment where people feel valued, challenged, and inspired to give their best. It's about being a leader people actually want to follow, not because they have to, but because they're inspired by your vision, your passion, and your genuine belief in their potential. The next time you find yourself in a leadership role, take a deep breath, channel your inner Carnegie, and remember, true leadership isn't about power or control. It's about empowering others to greatness. So put your ego aside, listen with an open heart, and watch as your team soars to new heights, fueled by a culture of positivity, collaboration, and genuine appreciation. Because at the end of the day, that's what truly wins friends, influences people, and creates a legacy of lasting impact. Not some heavy-handed approach or manipulative mind game, but a genuine desire to bring out the best in those around you. So, lead with empathy, lead with positivity, and watch as doors open in ways you never thought possible. Inspire others to embrace their full potential, and watch as they, in turn, inspire you to become the leader you were always meant to be. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring the timeless wisdom of Dale Carnegie's iconic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. From mastering the art of human connection to leading like a rock star, we've uncovered practical strategies for building strong relationships, resolving conflicts, and inspiring others to embrace their full potential. But let's be real, even with all this knowledge, communication breakdowns and leadership mishaps are bound to happen. After all, we're only human, and navigating the complex world of interpersonal dynamics is no easy feat. So, before we wrap things up, I have a question for you. What's the worst miscommunication or leadership blunder you've ever experienced? Maybe it was a misunderstanding with a friend or loved one that spiraled out of control, or perhaps it was a boss who embodied every leadership anti-pattern in the book. Share your stories in the comments below, and let's commiserate over the communication catastrophes that have left us scratching our heads or pulling our hair out over the years. Who knows? Maybe your tale of woe will inspire others to apply Carnegie's principles and avoid similar pitfalls in the future. And while you're at it, let us know if you've ever had a boss or leader who truly embodied the principles of positive reinforcement, empathy, and genuine appreciation. Those rare gems deserve to be celebrated, and their stories might just inspire the rest of us to step up our leadership game. Remember, the path to winning friends and influencing people is paved with empathy, active listening, and a genuine desire to understand and be understood. So, keep an open mind, embrace Carnegie's wisdom, and watch as doors open in ways you never thought possible. Until next time, keep communicating, keep leading, and keep striving to bring out the best in those around you. Because at the end of the day, that's what truly creates a legacy of lasting impact. Not some heavy-handed approach or manipulative mind game, but a genuine desire to inspire greatness in others. and maybe even in yourself.